You know, guys, the Scatmaster curse continues, man. Every single time I take a day off. I took Tuesday off because I wanted to focus on my courses and everything, and of course, that's when a whole lot of shit starts popping off in Call of Duty. Some things that honestly sound mildly good. Alright, that might be surprising for a lot of, fanboys and gooch slickers out there. But of course, this is Call of Duty we're talking about, guys. And when things seem pretty good, you know that it's usually rooted in something either inauthentic or greedy as fuck. And that's what we're going to be covering today, guys. But before I get into it, I'm going to need you guys to please bitch slap the monkey shit out of the like button today and subscribe if you're new. We're on the way to 60K. We're pretty fucking close, honestly, so if you could help me out with that, that would be lovely. But to start this whole thing off, let me just go ahead and say, you're welcome. There's a lot of positive changes that have happened in the last couple of days, and whether you guys, my viewers, or other content creators, or even the Call of Duty gooch slickers and fanboys out there want to admit, a lot of the changes that we are seeing are due to two things, okay? They are due to feedback, specifically very critical feedback, and number two, because the pre-orders are low because of a game like, I don't know, Battlefield 6? Too big to fail. What the hell? Guys, allow me to present to you the first change that happened in the last couple of days that, although it seems very minor, just understand who is actually being critical about this and for what purpose, okay? So this is the tweet that comes out from Scatmaster Charles. He comes out here and says, here's the before and after on the TED design in the Black Ops 7 Vault Edition. So if you don't know what this is one of the pre-order bonuses that was part of the Black Ops 7 Vault Edition pre-order bonus thing or whatever the fuck. And I, along with very many other people, made fun of this because the design for all of these characters, I'm sorry, they just look like shit. You might think that the previous design looks good, but in my opinion, it just didn't look right, okay? Not if we're talking about the actual Black Ops 2 transit bus driver motherfucker guy. So what they updated him to look like is more robotic, a little bit more gritty, some more zombie elements to him. And honestly, I'm gonna be the one to say it. I think it kind of looks better. Would I say you got a pre-order now? Fuck no. And actually, you know what? I have the perfect tweet for this that comes out from the Scatmaster himself. If you guys don't follow me on Twitter, it's Fooly COD. I might just come out here and say you're welcome once again. To everybody saying stop rage baiting, shut the fuck up and enjoy your better looking pre-order bonus, you fucking virgin. This is yet another example of the fan base benefiting from the shit talkers. And still don't pre-order though. Now, I'm not against giving Treyarch credit for a positive change, but let's just hone in on that word right there. Not positive, but the other one, change. Why is something changing and why now? Ladies and gentlemen, that is the premise of today's entire video because everything else I have to show you correlates precisely to this point. Guys, over the years, you've already heard me talk about this, but Call of Duty's been falling off more and more. Maybe not in terms of metric sales and shit like that and units sold and revenue, but holy shit, the reception of these Call of Duty games recently has significantly plummeted over time. And you might want to call us vocal minority, all this type of shit. Well, please understand that the vocal minority is what's getting you these motherfucking changes, okay? The Call of Duty devs are not making these changes to appease people that don't have a problem with Call of Duty. They're making these changes to appease the people that have critical feedback. You're welcome, bitch. But guys, this is really where things shift gears because now we are accelerating into full-on changes and appeasing to the people that have a problem with Call of Duty, guys. This is a tweet that comes out from Treyarch. They say, hi, we'll have plenty to share on zombies starting next week, and there's more than we can fit into just a week. Needed some extra time to cook up something special, all right? So keep that verbiage in your mind. Needing extra time, okay? This is what they came out with yesterday by the time you guys are watching today's video. They said, the team's here to talk multiplayer maps in our new dev talk video, including Treyarch 3-lane design, map pacing, sizing, and color, face-off and gunfight modes in Black Ops 7, potential CDL map selections, hints at future BO2 favorites, post-launch support, and more. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people out there make the claim and the assumption that the overall Call of Duty fan base is not online. They don't care about what goes on Twitter or in these YouTube videos. So you tell me who the fuck these developers are making these little videos for. Is it for the people that aren't gonna watch any of this? Or is is it for the people that had a problem with the BO6 map layouts, the people that didn't like BO6 post-launch support, or the map pacing, sizing, and color in BO6? You tell me who they're being vocal for. I mean, seriously, we can go through a clip or two here if you want.
More 3-lane maps, please.
All of our maps we design from the start with 3 lanes in mind, and then sometimes we'll break those rules if we think there's something really fun or unique. We're definitely focusing on path clarity and really just getting back to the fundamentals of that Treyarch design style.
Cap.
Guys, this is the problem that I have with this specific quote on 3-lane design maps, okay? Because 3-lane design maps objectively work, okay? I don't think there can be any possible alternative opinion that points to 3-lane design maps not working in Call of Duty. And what I mean by not working, I mean, is it fluid? Do the spawns make sense? Is the pacing actually decent? Because if you want to bring up MW 2019 maps that were notoriously the opposite of 3-lane design maps, you would know immediately. Those maps had absolutely no fucking flow. They were dog shit. And honestly, you could say the exact same thing for the BO6 launch maps, okay? You're not gonna tell me Subsonic is a 3-lane design map. You're not gonna tell me that Payback is a 3-lane design map. You're not gonna tell me Babylon is 3 lanes. Like, well, actually, Babylon looks like a fucking tic-tac-toe design map. But we're not gonna sit here and pretend like everybody's cope wasn't that BO7 and BO6 were designed side by side at the same fucking time, like everybody wants you to believe. Because if that were the case, how is it that you have 3-lane designed maps in BO7 and not in BO6? If we're gonna believe the cope that these two games were developed at the exact same time, are you willing to tell me that they purposefully chose the maps that were not 3-lane designed and honestly fucking dog shit and put them into BO6 to give BO7 a higher selling point that they're clearly trying to grasp at right here? Are you, as a gooch licker, willing to admit that? Because if you are, it would make this conversation significantly easier. Because if that's not the case, then what you're telling me is they had the BO6 designed maps as dog shit, and then they got the feedback from those maps and made BO7 maps 3-lane designed and better. And if that's the case, who are you gonna thank for the better maps in BO7?
People who love me, people who support, I appreciate you guys as always. And everyone else, go fuck yourself.
I'm not saying you gotta thank Fooly, the Scat Master specifically, but the people who are critical of Call of Duty deserve some fucking flowers here, okay? I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and if it wasn't obvious enough with the map design, how about this? No manual doors in Black Ops 7 multiplayer with a fucking W on it. As if it's that revolutionary to not have doors on a fucking Call of Duty map, that we need to praise it and use it as marketing, okay? We are using this to push Call of Duty Black Ops 7 out to consumers. Hey guys, there's no doors on the maps. Could you imagine telling somebody in like 2010, hey, guess what? There's no doors on this map. You want to buy the game? People look at you like you got a fucking micro peen on your forehead, bro. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? What else are they trying to market here, guys? They're trying to market that the color design palette on the new Black Ops 7 maps are actually very nice, and they're true to the Black Ops 2 original designs, and all this other type of shit. Like, why is that a selling point? Why could that not have just been the case from the start? Or how about this? Why wasn't it the case in Black Ops 6? But it's okay, you keep believing that the vocal minority has no influence in the Call of Duty space, alright? You just sit back and just think that, alright? It's okay, it's okay. You know, it's almost like they're actually now thinking a little bit more about the Call of Duty community. Alright, I don't know if you guys get that impression, but when I see tweets like these that are from Call of Duty updates, there's one important phrase in here that I never see them say in their tweets. Take a look at this. AS Rock has begun rolling out BIOS updates for the AM4 motherboards to correct TPM errors. This is a major win for the Call of Duty community, and we're grateful to AS Rock for taking steps to address this issue. When the fuck else do they talk about the Call of Duty community? Except for at a time where it's so goddamn pivotal, the pre-orders are so fucking low compared to where they usually are, that now of all times, they actually give a fuck about the community. And trust me, I know exactly what the Gooch Licker's cope is going to be in today's video. It's gonna be something like, oh, well, you had all these complaints and then they fixed it and you're still complaining. I don't know, maybe it's because of the fact that we've been talking about half of this shit for years upon years upon years, and it's only now that the pre-orders are down and that the competition from a game like Battlefield 6 is actually shaking these motherfuckers up, that now, all of a sudden, in an attempt to get more pre-orders, they are actually making changes. It's not because they actually give a fuck about the community. What they give a fuck about are the units that are sold and pre-ordered and the revenue that they are missing out on because they've been shitty to us for the last God knows how many years. Are we really gonna sit here and actually think that Treyarch and Activision are being sincere? I mean, dude, they literally had an entire talking point about doors. Doors have been in Call of Duty since when? Since MW 2019. And then the following year, because people were talking shit, they didn't have doors in Cold War. But all of a sudden, doors are back in BO6. Like, where is the actual integrity? Where is the consistency? Where is the authenticity of these developers and what they truly want? And look, these developers are doing a fantastic job by talking to us, all right? No disrespect to them, but we know these guys are like puppets on a string for fucking Activision, and if Activision's telling them, hey, no doors because we're losing pre-orders, what do you think they're gonna do as developers, man?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
And guys, with that, I think it's time to end off this video, except we got one more thing to show, all right? And this would genuinely be one of the least surprising things and moves that Activision could try to attempt. All right, they might think this is like the next biggest power move out there, but this is a rumor that comes out from the Ghost of Hope, and I couldn't make an entire video about this, so I'll just include it here. He comes out here and says, very, very big grain of salt, Black Ops 7 may move up its release date. If you're having trouble with the verbiage, that means it might come out sooner than expected, and why would they do that? Ladies and gentlemen, we know what is coming out very, very soon in a few weeks, guys. We got Battlefield motherfucking 6, and you bet your ass a lot of people are gonna be there, and when Black Ops 7, that smoke show cartoon carnival ass fucking game comes out, you know these people that switched over to Battlefield 6, of course, there's a lot of them that are going to go over to BO7, but Activision clearly doesn't think there's enough of them that are going to go to BO7. So what's going to happen? The power play is to make BO7 come out sooner, possibly as a surprise, incentivize those pre-orders because, you know, you get early access with pre-ordering, and thus Activision might actually pull off the comeback when it comes to pre-order numbers just by toying with the dates, just by getting their developers to have this like pro-community discussion with everybody. But at the end of the day, we know what this is about, man. Battlefield has them shook, man. There's no other reason, and the Ghost of Hope responds with, there's just no way pre-orders are that bad. Battlefield 6 only sniffed 20 million users in a free beta, and yet Activision feels the heat. Why? Because those are numbers that Battlefield betas have not seen, and if they have, it's probably been so goddamn long that Call of Duty forgot what it is to have competition. And at the same time, you know what the reception is online. Black Ops 7 is getting cooked. And who are some of the content creators out there that are cooking Call of Duty and Black Ops 7 and Activision? I'll give you a hint. It's some of the same people you should be thanking for some of these positive changes that you're seeing here. Yeah, never wrong, just early. But that's gonna do it for me today, guys. I'm curious to know what you guys think about all this. What are your thoughts on all of these quote-unquote positive changes that Call of Duty and Activision are making for the benefit of the community? Because of course that's what they want you to believe. Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notifications to stay up to date with my newest videos. And yeah guys, it's been the boy Fooly. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out of here. Peace.
This ain't in my body.